G'day guys, MBS here again. Today I'm going to be adjusting this one-barrel Stromberg on a Holden 202 engine. Before you adjust your carburetor, make sure the ignition is spot on, alright? Get your timing correct, get your centrifugal advance sorted, make sure it's not advancing too early. Make sure it's got good spark, okay? Now that's kind of hard to do when you haven't got the oscilloscope to help you out there, because you have to do everything by eye. So yeah, look, if you put new leads, new plugs, new points, all that stuff in there, that's great. That's a good starting point. You've already done half your tune. As long as your dwell angle is correct on your points and you've got your timing right, we can then start on the carburetor. Because if the ignition system is lazy or faulty in any way, you're not going to be able to adjust your carburetor to optimum. All right, so we know this is okay. It's got new plugs, new points, new condenser, blah, blah, blah. We've timed it. We've gone through the lesson previously and we did all those different ways of timing it. So in the end, I've used the timing light and adjusted it just that 1.5, 2 degrees error that we had, put it back on 10 degrees, and we're good to go. So now we have to start her up, obviously, and we're going to sort the idle out. Now I suspect this is probably going to need her to run around about 850, 900 RPM, as it does with the triples. I've never actually done, would you believe, a XU1 cam on a single Stromberg. It's just unheard of. You'll normally always up the carburation as well. Put extractors on, up the carburation, put the big cam in. Sometimes you even go electronic ignition. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what it runs like with a poor old one-barrel Stromberg. And we'll go from there, guys. Okay, look, my voice has been drowned out by the engine, so I'm going to do a voiceover of what I'm doing here. So the first thing I'm going to do is screw the mixture screw in and see if we can stop the engine or lose a little bit of idle speed. If we lose a little bit of idle speed, then we know that we've gone too lean and we need to screw the screw back out. Now I'm fiddling around here with my fingers because I can actually use my fingers to turn the screw, and then the screw gets tight and I've got to go back to the screwdriver. But yeah, I'm stuffing around with it a fair bit, trying to get it to make some sense, but I've actually got the mixture screw almost all the way in, not far from here, and the engine is still running. It did get a little bit of a dead spot and want to cut out, and you'll see that coming up, but yeah, a real pain in the neck to get any sort of sense out of it. And right here I've now discovered that this carburetor needs modifying because I can't get the mixture right. I can hear the venturi leaking fuel down the throat, so yeah, throttle is open way too wide to get it to run. And we even, there's no vacuum hose connected to it at the moment, to the distributor, which is probably good because we would have had full vacuum there, because the throttle butterfly has well and truly uncovered the vacuum port as well as the progression port. So yeah, bit of a cantankerous old thing it was, so not very good. So yeah, we're going to shut it down and carry on from there. Well, there you go. A one-barrel Stromberg on an XU1 cam. Very cantankerous. Well, that didn't turn out so well to show you how this works. I really needed a stock engine to show you how to adjust a one-barrel Stromberg. It would have worked out way better for us. But you saw what I was doing. I was just trying to balance the mixture and the idle speed together. So what you do is you just basically get it running. So even if it's doing 1,000, it doesn't matter. You screw your mixture screw in till you feel it die. You screw it out until it's idling at its fastest, then you slow the idle down. Once you've slowed the idle down 100, 200 RPM, whatever you can, then you redo the mixture again. You screw it in until it dies, you take it back out again, and then screw it out, in, out, until you get your maximum RPM. All right, and if it's still idling too fast, you readjust the idle speed again, and then do the mixtures again, until you've got it where it should be. Old cars usually run around about 600 RPM, yeah? Some of the HXs and Zs were running around about 800 with the idle solenoid, the little electric solenoid and the 1/4-inch nut on the end that you adjust your idle speed with. But old fellas like this, you should be able to get them down to 600 on a stock cam. Just quickly, a little bit off the subject, but this carburetor on this engine with this camshaft needs to be modified, okay? I need to drill a hole through the butterfly disc to allow the air to go through that hole, which means I can close the butterfly and get a better idle quality out of it. What's happening now is while I'm standing over it and listening, even though I'm half deaf, I can hear it sucking fuel in through the progression ports and the venturi, so it needs more air. And that's why the throttle is open so wide. It's getting the air, but it's also creating depression on the auxiliary venturi and drawing fuel out. So to stop that, a hole through the butterfly, bit of a guess what size the hole's going to be. We start small and work our way up rather than making one big hole. And then that way we can shut the throttle and cut the progression ports out and only have the mixture screw supplying fuel at idle. We do not want progression ports partly open, adding extra fuel in until we're actually on part throttle. All right, but that's the best I can do for this one, guys. I think what's next on the agenda is he's going to put a 4-barrel on. That might suit adjustment a little bit better for us. That should be able to take a XU1 cam, and hopefully we might get that out to you one day. All right, so sorry that this one didn't work out as the way it should, but I think you've got, from what I've said, you should be able to work out how to do your carburetor adjustment. I don't know if you noticed, but I had the mixture screw screwed all the way in, and it was still running, and that was because it was on progression port, getting its fuel from there, bypassing the mixture screw. So yeah, definitely a hole through that disc would fix that. All right, guys, catch you in another video, maybe the 4-barrel adjustment. See yous.